Hello, hello. Jeff Helvin here with the Lori Ballin team and Ballin Brands at your command. And today I'm going to go a little bit into smart plans, more specifically how to add a smart plan from the library of smart plans that are available to us as Keller Williams agents. So what I have here up on my screen is just the home page. When I log in, I get to my dashboard. I'm going to click over here on Smart Plans, which is just the looks like a little degree icon, to look smart. And the first thing I always want to remind people is that when we're dealing with anything, if we're on a team, we always have to take a look at whether or not we're in our individual account, which is up here on the top right, or if we're in the team account. Okay, because each one has its own set of different things. For example, in my own personal account, I've got this list: post-closing smart plan, exploring smart plans, introduction. But if I go to the team account, I'll see different ones: Jeff's team, just reduce, right? So the way these work is which smart plan or which contact I'm trying to add to a smart plan. If the contact is owned by the team but managed by me as the agent, then it will need to be on a team smart plan. If I have my own contact that I own, that I put into the system, and am going to use a smart plan, I need to have the smart plan in my own smart plan interface. So it's important to kind of understand the difference, because you may install it and then find that it's not there. So in this case, I'm going to do it on my own personal account. And what I can do is when I'm in the smart plans, I see what I have here, but then I can also go to library. So if I click on library, I actually have options here to choose from a whole database full of smart plans. Now, we do want to suggest that basically not all smart plans are necessarily vetted, work great in all scenarios. I mean, there's lots of factors. So you want to make sure you really take a look at smart plans. So we're going to show you a little bit how to do that here. So the first thing is I have kind of a default set of smart plans. So these are ones that are featured, and featured basically it just means they're featured by Keller Williams, but they're not necessarily by the same people. Okay, so you see here the author of this one is Marty Miller. We've got Fred Moore is an author. I clicked on Marty Miller, so it took me more to his. So let me just go ahead and go back. Come back to my library here. And then below these featured ones that we have here, then we have the ones that were originally installed by Keller Williams, kind of put out by corporate, basically. So these are the ones that were in when Command first launched Smart Plans. There's the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, there's the 8x8, a quarterly call plan, midterm nurture. So a lot of different ones there. Then we have top rated. So those would be ratings based on how many 5-star reviews, things like that. So you can kind of take a look at the different options there. So here's what we're going to explore. One, we have the smart plan title. Okay, then we have a little description of what the author put in to suggest what the smart plan is for. So this one, for example, is stay top of mind by scheduling regular check-ins with your contacts over the span of 6 months. Okay, so if I scroll down here, this one says it's a total of 8 steps. The duration is 31 days, and it's 3 touches. Now we're going to see how this plays out. It's a little misleading because this is a 6-month one, so it probably repeats, but let's take a look at how that works. So I can click here on View Steps, and it'll actually show me what's going to happen in all of these. So this one says basically the first step is it's going to add to the smart plan the monthly neighborhood nurture. So by adding someone to your long-term nurture smart plan, you're also then adding them to KW's monthly neighborhood nurture. Then it's going to wait 10 days and it's going to schedule a phone call. Now when you hover over, it shows call first name, last name as part of long-term nurture smart plan. So it's basically a task for you to make a phone call. Then it's going to wait 10 days, and then it says touch task. So send a value email to so-and-so as part of the long-term nurture. Then it's going to wait 10 days, and it sends this SMS. Now, in this case, you'll actually see there's 6 different ones assigned here, and that's because this particular smart plan actually loops. So you'll see here it has the different messages that's going to happen throughout. Now, this would be automated if you have Twilio integrated. If you don't have Twilio integrated, then it'll create you a task for you to manually send this text message. Okay, so it waits 10 days. Then it repeats 6 times. So you see it's a monthly, basically a monthly sequence that then repeats 6 times, which makes it a 6-month long-term nurture. Okay, so this is one option. Now, the reason why I point this out is because if you look at this and you see, oh, okay, in 10 days I'm going to make a phone call, in 10 days I'm going to do a touch, and then in 10 days I'm going to do a text message. If you don't think that you will do those tasks, then this would not be a good smart plan for you. Okay, because you're going to end up with a bunch of tasks that you're not doing, and it's not really going to help make those contacts. So another option might be a different smart plan that maybe sends an email and then a text message and then an email or something like that, so that it's less reliant upon you doing something manually and more reliant upon the system's automation. Now, of course, with that being said, sometimes the emails might not be received, or you don't want to just rely on automation. So it's okay to build in a task here and there possibly, but just know what you're installing and what you're setting up. Okay, so let's go to another one just to kind of get an idea. 555. So stay in touch with the data bank with multiple touches a year, phone calls, handwritten notes, text messages, and social media touches. Okay, so if I do that, I click on View Steps. The first step is as soon as I add them to the smart plan, it says to make a phone call. So literally day one, phone call is going to happen. And then it gives you a script in here, which is kind of nice, right? So whoever developed this particular smart plan is giving you the script of what you should say. Then it waits 30 days, and then it gives you a task to make a touch. Then it waits 30 days, gives you a task to make a touch, waits 29 days, gives you a text message that again would be automated with Twilio integrated or a manual task, and then it repeats 4 times. So if you notice, that's a 90-day sequence that repeats 4 times, which makes it a 1-year task. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually search for smart plans. You could either search by a plan name, so if you're looking specifically for like something that has to do with invites, I could type in invite and say, oh, goal setting week invites, business planning clinic invite, buyer guide invite, Santa invite, right? So there's a bunch of smart plans in here that have invites. So that's one option. You can also do by plan name, by author name. So let's say we do one for, we'll do Ballin. So if I type in Ballin, you'll see there's this testimonial request that was published by Lori Ballin, and I can view the steps on those, the duration, and so forth, right? I can also look by description, so something that shows up in this particular description, all right? So in this case, let's go ahead and choose one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Lori Ballin testimonial request. I can see it's already been used by 246 agents. It's got 5-star reviews. So I'm going to go ahead and add the smart plan. So now this is, telling me I'm going to add to my smart plans, and what name do I want to give it? So you can leave it my testimonial request. We can name it, Lori Ballin's testimonial request if you want to remember which one it was that you got from her, for example, things like that. So this is just an option here on what to name it. So we'll go ahead and click download. Okay, so now it says my testimony request was added to my smart plan. So if I go to smart plans, I now see my testimonial request. Now, before I send it out, I'm going to go ahead and maybe just look at it. I can click edit. As long as no one's attached to it yet, I can still make certain edits to it. It's always a good idea to double check what it says, because there might be something, let's say, for example, Lori Ballin, runs a team. So she might say, we'd love to hear from you, like she has in the subject line here. But if you're an individual not on a team, you might want to say, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so make those changes. It's encouraged to make this a little more custom for you if that's what you'd like to do. So I'd love to hear from you. And then it says, hi, so, contact first name. We're using the merge field, so it fills in their name. It was an honor to help you with the real estate transaction. We take a lot of pride in our service. Our business is driven by referrals. We truly would appreciate your time and leaving us your review. If that would be okay with you, let me know and I'll send over a link. Okay, so that's one option here on what we can do to send over a link. Now, if you already have a link, you could actually change this. Again, that's why we're in here editing it. So if that would be okay with you, please click here. So I can actually make it a link and change that to go to my review page, whatever my review URL is. Okay. So that's an option too. Of course, that's not a valid link. So I was just, let's just do valenvegas.com. Okay, so add link. So please click here, right? So we can actually build it right in. Then at the same time, we're actually sending an SMS. Now, right now, it shows that the Twilio account suspended, which it's actually not. I'm not sure why it's still showing that. Sometimes a little buggy still, but so it still has that. This would be the text message that goes out. So this actually has a text message that goes out at the same time as the email. Now, the reason why that's useful is because sometimes that email doesn't get received, right? Because of spam filters or someone's not on their email. So in this case, we have, hi, contact first name. Thank you for trusting us with your real estate needs. When you have the time, we'd be honored to receive your review. If I send over a link, would you be willing to do that for me? So again, in this case, yes, that'd be great. Send over a link, right? They respond. You can reply back with the link, and you've got that dialogue going, okay? Then it waits 3 days, and it creates a task. So if so-and-so left a review, we want to remove them from this smart plan. We don't want them to continue to get the messages because the next message is 3 days later. We're going to ask them again. Okay, so obviously if they left us a review, we don't want to ask them again. So this puts a task on your calendar, and it gives you basically 6 days in between the last message that was sent and this next one for you to go ahead and address the fact that you've already got the review, so we don't want to ask them again. But if you don't get the review, then you go ahead and let this one continue to run, and it's going to send another email as well, and you can add in another text. Whatever it is that you want to do there, that's your option to kind of modify these at that point. Okay, so once I make those changes, I click save, and the smart plan is now ready for you to use. So again, just kind of a quick recap. Okay, if you're not using smart plans now, it's a great way to get started. If you don't know how to build them yourself, you can go in here, click on smart plans, go to your library, look up smart plans by searching some names, find ones that look good for you, click install, or add to your smart plans, make a couple little edits if you need to, and you're rock and rolling. You're ready to start touching your database even more. So if you have any questions on that, by all means, you can reach out to us at team@balenbrands.com.